Welcome to Tokyo Alpha, the show where two guys talk about mainly the Japanese NFT market. And my name is Tony, and I host NFT Nippon, which is Japan's top Japanese language NFT podcast. And I've been monitoring the Japanese market for over a year now, since last fall. And I am joined, as always, by one of the co-founders of Spam DAO, a Japanese alpha community. His name is Crypto.
Pleasure to be here.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey. All right. So good to be back. We took last week off because the market was kind of slow and we were busy doing other stuff too. So we didn't want to just like repeat ourselves. It was going to be like the same show as like the week before. So we decided to focus on other stuff. But we're back and plenty to talk about. First, though, I always ask you, where are you this week?
I am still in Tokyo at the moment, but I'm gonna fly to Thailand tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow, okay. And then, do you know about how long you're going to be in Thailand?
Yeah, about 7 to 8 days depends. I haven't bought a ticket back yet.
Okay. Jeez, you never know where crypto's going to be.
Yeah.
But this is all related to the project that you are a part of, right? Zielchain?
Yes, I'm actually flying there to link up with one of the professional AMA player.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Like I'm really excited to link up with that person, and she's gonna educate
Yeah.
me all about the Web3 in the US.
Nice. Okay. And I know Zielchain, like it seems like, I don't know, I'm looking at the tweets that you guys are doing. I'm seeing the uploading that you always do, like uploading some percent, and I see the percent going up. So I assume something happens when 100% hits.
Yeah. Something amazing is gonna happen. Like, yeah, I think a lot of people are already guessing, and I think your guess is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Just for anybody that's listening for the first time, so Zielchain is a project that crypto is a part of, and it's the art is being done by Yoshitaka Amano, who is of course famous for having worked on Final Fantasy and a lot of those character designs that we all know. So it's at Zielchain, Zielchain. So I'm not affiliated with the project in any way. I just know crypto is working on that. So that's why I'm always curious. I'm always asking him about it.
Yeah. Right
So,
now we are like growing the community on Twitter organically,
yeah, yeah.
no like tagging friends and retweet and stuff and to attract the flippers.
Hmm.
Like yeah, it's not gonna be a generic 10K PFP project. It's gonna be a bulletproof. I'm gonna make it, a real project.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think that's refreshing. Like it's so easy to just build up the followers, just do a bunch of whatever Twitter giveaways. But
Yeah.
you know what? There's no rush. There's no rush. Like, just you can build it little by little. That's fine.
Mm, yeah, for
Oh.
real.
Hmm. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep an eye out for that. That's at Field. Curious about that. Um, but let's I guess let's get into it then. So we always start with did you buy anything? So have you bought anything crypto lately?
No, I've been selling. I've been selling all. I've been selling all the Alpha Group pass. Like
Yeah.
chat. Because yeah, I mean they're worthless now. Like honestly, like they're
Yeah.
worthless.
Yeah,
Like
I sold one like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Wizard Pass. Uh,
oh, you still had it? Oh
I
my
I had
God.
one. I had one left.
Hmm.
Um, I had already sold others higher, thankfully. Every single one for a loss, I think.
Yeah, me same
But
here. 90% down. Jeez.
yeah, but that, yeah, I mean, I don't want to beat up on Wizard Pass because really, honestly, most Alpha Passes, if not every single one, is down. Uh, that's just the way it is because the market has changed. But yeah, that one I must have bought in for like 0.4 or something, and I sold it for like 0.01 something. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's down bad.
surprisingly enough, like I made money off of what's this influence name? KO no FLER flour.
Oh,
Oh my
Fleur, yeah, yeah,
goodness.
yeah, Fleur, yeah.
I bought it for like 0.01 and sold it for like 0.05 or something.
Okay, hey,
That's like surprising to me.
you know what? Hey, you'll take anything at this point, right? Like any
Yeah,
profits, whatever. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep, yep.
Well, it's December, so it's time to get rid of the stuff that you don't want to keep holding anymore. So,
Yeah.
uh, you know, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah. So let me see. I bought like some art, some Japanese art. Won't really focus on that. I
Hmm.
bought some other super cheap, like degen kind of like if it's like trending, like under 0.01. All right, I'll buy it. That stuff's probably going to zero, so that didn't go anywhere. And then but I also it's about a day and a half ago I bought two Valhalla.
Hmm.
Uh, and I bought it at basically mint price. It was like 0.52 ish. I
Hmm.
bought two, um, and that was a really good price to get in.
Yeah, that's the best time. Like you pick up the bottom price.
Pretty much, yeah. Like after reveal, it went well. After reveal, it went down to like 0.4 something. Then it went back up, and then it stayed
Mm-hmm.
at mint price, and it was there
Mm-hmm.
for like a day, maybe close to 2 days. And I kept watching Valhalla because I honestly I thought it was just gonna dump, like it was just gonna keep going down, and I kept
Mm.
watching it just out of curiosity, just if I could tweet about it maybe, and I could tell people like, see, I told you. But I kept seeing people buying and buying and buying, and I kept seeing people buying for more than the floor, like 1 ETH, 2 ETH, 4 ETH, 10 ETH.
Mm.
Um, and like I saw the guy that the founder of that project Genki, like he bought
Yep.
one for like 10 ETH.
I mean, they're friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
and he's got money, so it's like 10 ETH is not like to him 10 ETH is not what 10 ETH is to
Not.
me, but
Jeez.
yeah, yeah. To him 10 ETH is like I don't know, maybe 1 ETH for me or something. But
Mm.
yeah, so totally different level. I mean, you can't let that totally influence you, but um I have been seeing, the whales. I was looking at the numbers of who's holding. I was looking at who was tweeting about it, and just the fact that it was holding over floor, like to me, it was like, okay, so I'll buy in now. If it goes to point 4, I'll sell. That's my, I cut my losses. If it goes up, then I'll see what happens. Then apparently, that was the bottom for the moment, and it went up to like point 0.9 or maybe a little bit more, and right now it's
Mm.
holding at point 0.9. So
Yeah. Mm.
right before we started this, I listed one at point 0.9. It hasn't sold yet.
Mm. 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 Yeah, yeah. It's a great idea to sell into a volume.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the here's the so you never know, right? This thing could be the next quote unquote Azagi or whatever. It could be. It could be. But the thing that right now has got me a little bit uneasy is I know they're doing a trait re-roll.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you never know what could happen with that. Maybe people don't like what happens and then they start dumping, or maybe people really like it and it goes up. So yeah, if this 0.91 sells, the one that I just listed, then I'm going to be almost risk free. So I can keep holding the other one for longer.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
can sleep
hopefully it
easy
sells.
better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It really is. I really don't like these short term trades, but it seemed like a good one, and so far it's okay. So if it sells, then it'll be even better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what happens
So
after reroll? Like you
yeah,
get
I
you
don't
get the
know.
rare trades and stuff. Like why is
Well,
people
that's
buying
the
it above the
idea.
floor?
Yeah, that's
Like
the idea, right? Like everybody wants a rare trade, so that's the gamble, right?
the
Uh,
why is people picking up above floor then? Like if they're like gambling for better trades.
I, I, I really don't know because I haven't been in the Discord. I haven't been talking to people, but the two.
Mm.
So there's, of course, there's the So there's humans, there are demons. There might be one other one, I don't know it, but the demon one is really rare. That one sold for like 26 each. Somebody bought it. Who knows who the hell bought it?
Mm. Wash
Yeah,
trading.
exactly. Very. You never know with these things. We're not saying it is, but we all know that happens. So, um, and then there's also like the mecha trait and the toxic like
Mm-hmm.
whatever people. So there's these certain communities that are being bought up for, not communities, like traits categories that people are buying for above floor. So you can kind of think of it like the gold traits or the like gold ape or the trippy apes. There's always like these subsets of rare traits, not always, but in the popular collection, they sell for much higher. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing happening. You know, I don't know if it's organic or not, but that's what's happening with Valhalla. And that can be a very good thing, because when that stuff starts happening, then the people that can't afford those start buying the floors and it starts going up. But
Mm-hmm.
like you said, Crypto, I really don't know what's going to happen after the re-roll. I don't know if like anything can be re-rolled. And then does that diminish the value of the rare ones, or like what the hell happened? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, who knows? Maybe this goes to 4 ETH. Maybe it goes to 5 ETH. I don't know. But for now, I listed at 0.9. If it sells, I'm happy. If it doesn't, I'll relist. I only listed with a 1 hour deadline. So maybe by the end of the show, we'll know.
Yeah, I mean it's just PFP.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah,
It
I
it
don't.
doesn't it
I,
doesn't give you like a special utility other than chilling.
yeah, yeah.
Like
I don't. I
hmm.
don't intend to hold this anyway. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
intending to be a part of the community. So yeah,
Yeah. I don't see you changing your PFP to Valhalla.
hell no. The Japanese community would hate me, bro.
I know you're a diehard NTP fan.
Yeah, well, of course, I do love NTP. I do love Nico, but also like I'm kind of making it a point to stick to Japan only like projects for my PFP. Sometimes I change it for like a day or two, um, for a special occasion or something. But I always stick to Japan created NFTs, just because that's I'm trying to make that a thing that I focus on, and I like to support the Japanese community, and so that has what PFP you use can have some power, especially if you have a little bit of a following. So I'm aware of that, and I'm choosing to support the Japan side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So something interesting. So I'm curious to get your perspective here about Valhalla. So the non-Japanese people call this anime style art. Would you consider? Because I kind of disagree. Because to me, it doesn't really look that anime.
Hmm. Let
To me,
me
it looks
see.
more. To me, it looks like American comic book with a little bit of anime influence. But
Hmm.
like, to me, Azuki is like, yeah, that's anime style. Like, it looks anime-ish. Yeah, like Oni Force, yeah, it looks anime-ish. But like Valhalla, it's not that strong in the anime. Like, the hair sometimes looks pretty anime-ish, but I don't know. Overall, to me, it looks more American comic booky. But maybe
No,
that's just
yeah, I
opinion.
agree. It's just looks like an updated version of Azuki.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can see the Azuki influence, like the shading and stuff, but um, yeah, like I think like if you ask a lot of Japanese people, they might go like, it doesn't look that anime. Um, but I don't know, opinion. Whatever the case, I was just curious because a lot of the non-Japanese people are saying, yeah, it's the next Azuki, next anime, PFP, whatever. Like,
I mean, it's just PFP. Like
yeah,
it's just the one of the utility. Like you can chill, and that's about
yeah,
it. You get nothing out of
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like, I mean, but that's the thing, right? It's like if I were to get a board ape and that's my new PFP, all of a sudden all the board apes start following, right? Well, not all, but a lot of them, right? So like
Mm.
once a community gets to that point, then that becomes a utility, right? That's a reason to buy. It's like the Clonex people, or probably the Neo Tokyo Punk people to some extent, the Crypto Ninja Partners people to some extent. When you say I just bought one, and they all come like, oh, I'll follow you, I'll follow you, But
Yeah,
it's very hard to get to that point. So
yeah. Like honestly, it's the market is saturated by like all the meme 10K PFP project. All the utility they have is just a cool picture, and
yeah,
their community is dead. They offer nothing, no airdrop, no tokens, and no nothing.
yeah,
So why invest?
yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. there's tons of projects that have cool art that don't go anywhere. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Valhalla. All I can say is, if it
Yeah,
sells, I de-risked, and whatever, it was a good trade.
yeah.
You know,
I honestly like Valhalla. Like they raised $20 million in the seed rounds.
yeah, yeah.
That's very impressive. They're trying to build a new platform, and they're trying to be next. What is that? Next
Next,
Twitch?
like Twitch, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that could happen, but
I mean, it's possible. One thing that I will say is, at least whether that happens or not, it's very easy to say what Valhalla is trying to do, and
mm-hmm.
that is really important in marketing, because
Yeah,
most of these collections, even us, when we're looking at them, is like, so what are they trying to do? Like, we don't know, right? Like, it's just, oh, they released
mm.
art, okay, but now what? Like, what are they actually trying to do? So when you
Yeah,
have a clear goal that is actually easy to understand, and you can say it in one sentence, that is incredibly powerful, I think.
incredible. Yes, it
Yeah,
is. Yes, it's very that's a good marketing, honestly.
yeah, because it's like when your friend asks you, it's like, so what is Valhalla trying to do? Bam, you have an answer. It's one sentence, done, right? Like, that's it. But
But the
most of these
question is,
projects, it's like, oh, the community is great.
I mean, the community is the core of the project. They
It,
are
it is, it is.
supporter, they're investors, and they
Absolutely.
advertise it for you and everything.
Yeah, yeah. But everybody says the community is great.
Yeah, I get the mixed review. I mean, mixed
Yeah.
opinion about the Valhalla community.
Oh,
One
no,
person
I'm
say
just
it's
saying.
great. One person say it's just a bunch of whales.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
real community. They're just a bunch of rich people.
No, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, in general, like, when you ask somebody, regardless, whatever the project is, like, so what's special about this? Like, often the first thing they say is the community is great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that if that's the only thing
Yeah,
that's kind of a lark. Like it's
yeah,
not backed by the real business.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, yeah, my point is, like, that's something that everybody says about their project when they're holding. Um,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
again,
yeah,
I don't, I don't know what's going to happen with Valhalla, but at least you know what they're doing. They're trying to do, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Next Twitch. I don't watch
yeah,
Twitch, but I'm really yeah excited
yeah.
about it.
It's huge. I mean, it's huge, and Twitch has kind of monopoly right now. So if that happens, and it's very difficult, but if that happens, great, good on them.
Mm.
Maybe your Valhalla will actually go to 500 each. I don't know, but
Well,
that's
I don't know. Like I don't think there will ever be Bored Ape Yacht Club.
no, I don't think that's going to happen again. I agree. That
Like
was the first one in a way.
yeah, because the Valhalla doesn't really have the historical value, and all
No, yeah,
those collectors they're not gonna be collecting Valhalla. It's just a bunch of you know rich people showing off their money and supporting the project.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
in the long run, it's just gonna go to nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Like I
So
mean, if they don't succeed in creating new
yeah,
platform.
if they don't succeed, that's the thing about these things, right? Okay, so they're trying to do this. So what happens if it doesn't work? Well, bye bye. It goes to zero, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
anyway, yeah, that's Valhalla. Normally we don't talk too much about foreign projects, but I brought it up mainly because it's compared to Azuki, and it's got that
yeah,
anime-ish kind of vibe
yeah. I
to it.
think that might be where the Japan is heading. Like raising big funds before the launch. Oh,
Yeah,
we raised $20 million. It's more believable, right?
it absolutely is. It
To the
absolutely is.
holders. Like I think
Yeah,
that's where it's heading. Like, oh, we raised this much money, so you should trust us. So you should
yeah.
invest in us and stuff.
That's
So
that's the
that could be a
natural
new.
progression
Yeah, I
because
mean, hmm,
how many look point there's so many Japan projects, and many of them are related to Crypto Ninja partners or part of the ecosystem that mint for 0.001.
yeah, that's the
And
trick.
that's the trick, right? Of course it's going to sell out. Like, you have almost no risk. The floor is
Yeah,
going to go up, and most
yeah,
people that mint are going to, well, everybody that mints has the potential to make money if they choose to sell. Uh, but how can you actually build a solid, like, long lasting business from 10 ETH And then, some projects like Owl Panda, they bring in a bunch of money off secondary, but eventually that dries up. Like right now, Owl Panda is not doing almost anything on secondary.
No, I mean, I kind of saw it come in,
Yeah. So, but again, Owl Panda is a tiny project. Like it's basically Ao-san working with just a handful of people. So that's more realistic, and she has opportunities to sell beyond the NFT space. But most of these projects are just like let's put out another one, let's put out another one, let's put out another one. 0.001, it's gonna sell, it's gonna sell, and yeah, it's gonna sell. But how many of these are gonna last? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, right?
Yeah,
Probably not
you,
many.
you you gotta be as good as Ikehaya, like you have to have another stream of income, which is
Mhm.
ICL, right? Like you're
Yeah,
selling the subscription based community, like you gotta pay 700 to get in.
yeah,
Okay, the mean price is only 0.01 and the project is selling out and people diamond handing, and it's risk free, but the to be in his economy system, you have to be in the paid server to get all the benefits. They
yeah,
made hell of money. Like it's really easy to get in at 0.01, but if you want to stay, you gotta pay $700 to stay in the economy system.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
they make money. If other people can copy that, it's just gonna go to zero because they don't have any source of income basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. It's like, you know, they're not. Most of these projects are in Japan, especially. Like they make very little money on secondary. So, but Ikehaya doesn't have to worry about that. Like he's not the quote unquote founder. He's like the marketing guy for CMP.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know if they're paying him or whatever. But he's making money off ICL. He's got other sources of income. So he doesn't care about whether today he sold 2 or 3, CMPs or whatever. Like that's not. He's not making his money off of that. So
Yeah. Hmm.
you know, like it's not such a, how can I put it? I think CMP is in a way kind of risk free. They've got the most money in the space, and of course the floor could go down, whatever. But I don't see them disappearing anytime soon because the people in that are running that probably have other sources of income, so they can kind of keep going even though they're not making that much money from CMP itself. Um, we'll see what happens long term, but that's basically how a lot of these projects have to run if they want to last 1, 2, 3, 4 years, because they're not making much money off the initial sale. They're not making any money from the funders, like these venture capital funds or whatever. I can't remember of a single Japanese project that has brought in like millions of dollars in funding,
Hmm.
right? Like I don't know of any. So the people working on these projects have to make other income in order to keep this going, or just be like Owl Panda, where it's a tiny team. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. But anyway, let's talk about what is coming up, uh, because there's a lot of stuff coming up in the rest of December. These Japanese projects, it's kind of crazy. Like there's actually a lot coming on the 17th of December, like all on the same day.
You know why?
Um, why?
Because of people that all the founders from Japan, they want to launch their project before uh LLCL, no,
Oh,
no,
LLAC.
LLCAC, yeah,
Yeah,
launches. So basically they're scared. Like once
yeah,
the LLC is launched, all the attention is gonna be on them. And once they
yeah,
lose the attention, nobody buys. And
yeah,
the flow will just go down to nothing basically. Because
yeah,
in Japan there's less traders and less volume, and once they lose the spotlight, man, they're as good as dead. Like they can tweet all they want, but they get nothing, bro.
yeah, yeah. That is so true. So LLAC, Live Like a Cat, is coming out on 12/28, I think, or when is it? 12/28. Yeah. So according to the calendar that I was looking at, it was 12/28, Japan time, and that is the next big Ikehaya linked project. It's not his project, but he's deeply involved. I guess he's like the marketing guy or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
like I was listening to a space that he did about a week ago, and he was talking about how he was getting together with the founder Shuhei,
Mm.
and they were going to be going over a list to basically hand pick who was getting whitelisted.
Yeah.
Like he was talking about this. This is not a secret. He said this in the States. So this is how all these EMP related projects basically are able to get these like 1%, 2%, or less listings, because they know who the people are that is not going to sell. It's probably mostly the same people going from one community to the other one to the other one. So they know all the people. And so, they pick, every single person. And so they're able to get these super, super low listings that up until now have resulted in big pumps. Eventually this trick might run out. I don't know. That's what happened, in the global market. Everybody's making money until nobody's making money. So we don't know. We can't say anything. It's just, it's kind of concerning. It's like, how long can this go on? But of course, LLAC is going to launch for 0.001, like all those other projects related to EMP. And it's 20,000, but are they going to launch the 20,000 from the beginning, or what are they doing?
Now, from what I heard, they are going to launch only 10K initially, and the project team will hold the half of the supply. And what's funny is they're trying to sell the rest of the supply at the half of the floor price, so that, like, how Japanese project has been selling their project for 0.001.
Yeah,
they're gonna change that. They're gonna probably sell it for 0.05 or 0.2 or whatever. It's gonna be half of the floor price. So I'm really curious what happens.
Yeah, that is kind of scary. I don't know how much of the supply. So if Ike is involved, he knows, he's very good at like understanding, like, oh, you don't want to push too much supply out and all that. So I'm sure he will give them good guidance on that. But that could really suck out a lot of liquidity from the market if it's a lot of supply.
Every time people buy, the project makes the royalty. It's just like casino. Like all the gamblers make a bet, and the casino always wins.
Yeah.
It just matter of how many players you can get for that casino.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about but the interesting thing about LLAC is they've been doing these, like, I think they're physical, like Setsumeikai, like these conferences or whatever, gatherings to like educate new people into the NFT space, right?
Yeah, seminars. Yeah. Oh my God, people are paying like big money to attend those seminars just to get the whitelist. So it's starting to become like a business,
Yeah. It's scary when that happens, because it's like people are investing a bunch of money before the project because they're expecting that they're going to make more money after the project launches. And when you get too much like that, then you get an other deed situation. And that was the absolute top of the market, where even people that had never bought an NFT before were coming in, they were spending a whole bunch of money, and that thing just went down and down and down and down and down pretty soon after. And so if you're still holding, you lost a lot of money.
Well,
so that is scary. It's scary.
That is scary. Like people who I don't know if they want to be genuinely part of the project or community, or if they're pretending to be, part of the community just to get the whitelist.
Yeah.
They need to time themselves to get out of the project before everything goes down.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna keep going up.
Yeah, there's that's the thing. Like, there's the Japanese market. Like, up until now, it's rare to see, like, I've never seen somebody like Keyboard Monkey or Ding-a-Ling, or these huge ass whales that will sweep like 60 whatever Valhallas at 0.7 or something, right? That doesn't happen in Japan, and we don't see like Three Arrows Capital and these big investment funds buying in Japan. We see big whales in Japan, but usually these are people that are connected to the founder. They've worked on the project in some way, and so they're able to mint at 0.001 like 100, whatever. So there's whales, but they don't come in after the fact and then sweep up the floor. Like that's really rare or just doesn't happen.
No, for
So
real. Like,
there's just not the same amount of money in Japan, and people in Japan, on average, don't spend 5 or 10 ETH. Like most people are spending very little money, and once the floor goes up too much, most people just can't afford it, or they're
yeah,
not willing to spend that much.
yeah. I mean, there's no liquidity coming into the space, and there's no new people coming into the space
Yeah,
at the moment, right? Like, even big project like CNP, they can't make people buy NFTs. Like,
it's so
if they're not
difficult.
into
Like
it, yeah,
how do you get your average Japanese person say like, so look, this thing, it's 2.5 ETH. Well, I think right now it's like 2.3 ETH the floor of CMP. How do you convince them that that is a good investment? Because like there's just so many NFTs first of all, like that's really expensive. Second of all, they're not going to spend 24 hours a day in the Discord like weirdos like us. And and third, there's already so many NFTs in the CMP ecosystem that it's really confusing to know, like, so should I get a normal CMP, or should I get a CMPR, or should I
yeah,
get this one or the CMPS or that one, or blah blah blah, and it's just getting more and more confusing.
yeah, like, yeah. I don't want to label them, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because, yeah,
It's
but
concerning. Like I am really impressed by the community. Of course, that they're still at 1% listing or 0.9% and all that. The community is very happy, but it's just that how do you get in a new person to buy in at
yeah,
more than 2 ETH? That's the question, right?
yeah. It is not investment. It
Yeah,
is still a gamble. Like, it's
yeah,
like, it really is like NFT market in Japan is really like playing with the FX, like foreign currency trade.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, you're just guessing it's going to go up, and you just bet on it. And if it goes up, lucky for you, but you can't get out because you have to be part of the community. And once you sell, you're gonna be vanished, and you have to be out of the Web3. You
yeah.
know
That's the scary
that
part. Like,
that's the scariest part, bro.
yeah, 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 yeah. It really is. Like there's I'm not saying that communities are doing this. I'm just saying that maybe Japanese people are a little bit more sensitive to that social pressure, right?
Yeah,
That
like,
like
how can you sell?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the degen traders in the non-Japanese market, they don't give a fuck. They're like, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna sell it in 10 minutes later. I don't give a damn, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
Japan is a wonderful place, and part of the reason why it's such a great place and that I love it is that people are so respectful and they really care about each other, and it's generally very positive, and crime is super low. But the negative extreme of that is that there can be a lot of social pressure and kind of bullying, and people feel kind of uncomfortable about kind of rocking the boat and doing something that everybody else doesn't want them to do. And so even if a community is not doing anything on purpose, I think that a lot of Japanese people, on average, more than non-Japanese people, are a bit more sensitive to that. And so it gets really, really scary to sell when you only have one left and you're going to have to leave the community.
For real, like, they watch your
Yeah,
wallets, right? Like, once you
yeah,
sell one,
yeah.
you disqualify from getting whitelist. So,
Oh
like,
my
you're
God.
forced, yeah, you're forced into like diamond handling everything. And once you
Yeah,
take profit, you're
yeah,
out of the community.
yeah. That that
It's
is that is scary. That is scary. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you know, we all want a good, strong, positive community, but yeah, you don't want it to get to a point where it's kind of social pressure. Um, and by the way, my Valhalla sold, so 0.9. Yay. Uh,
congrats.
yeah. So I still got one. Now I'm
Yeah,
banished from Valhalla. They don't want me there anymore.
no. They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah,
You see how many people
yeah.
selling
I know.
every
They don't give
hour.
a damn. Yeah, as
Yeah,
long as people are buying, they don't care. Um,
yeah.
anyway, so that's yeah, LLC is the main project that I think a lot of people are kind of holding on to their ETH for. But let's quickly go over a few other projects that are coming up. Uh, so let's see what's coming up first. 1213. Oh, this is another 1213 Japan time. Kunoichi Gakuen. That's
Mm.
another Crypto Ninja related project, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
It's
game, I think.
it's BCG, and it's a lot harder to sell.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not 0.01 actually. It's 0.0. I think it was like 3 or 5. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
selling it on the Ethereum at the moment, but they're gonna move to Oasis basically.
is that a Japanese chain or something? What is
Yeah,
Oasis?
it's a Japanese new token
Oh,
or
okay.
shitcoin or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Japan
Okay.
has the ASA network, and we're gonna
Yeah,
have Oasis, and a lot of
got
people are like looking into it.
okay. So anyway, that's 5,000 supply. It's a game. I really don't have much interest in games, so yeah, I don't know. Not going
Yeah.
to be chasing this
Hmm.
now. But
Yeah.
if you have whitelist, hey, good for you. Uh, never know. Never.
Yeah.
There's another one coming out. So this is 1216. pNouns passport. So this is an on-chain project by Haji. So Haji-san is another well-known influencer in the Japanese space. He really likes on-chain stuff, and this is kind of his big project in the on-chain world. Uh, that's going to be 2,100 minting out at, again, this one was like 0.03 or 5 or something like that. So interesting. These projects are a little bit more expensive. Yeah, 0.05. Yeah. So that could do well, I guess. But again, there's just so many projects coming out within like 2 days. So it's like, I don't know how the secondary is going to do on these because people are saving their money.
Yeah.
It's
People
not
are
going to be like
saving
baking
money,
in.
and it's not convincing enough. Like, who's the artist and what? Like, is this just part of the nouns ecosystem? Like,
No, it's not. I don't think it's directly related to nouns. He's just calling it nouns because I don't know the art style or the way that he's doing it or something. But yeah,
mm,
I mean, it seems like it'll be cool from a tech perspective, but if you're looking to buy, maybe you just buy because you actually like the kind of innovation or something different. But the
mm.
returns on this, I don't know. That yeah, it's looking really difficult at this point in the
Yeah,
month.
there's no cultural relevance in the Web3 in this project.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
hard.
yeah. 1217, we've got Bayplay. Yeah, that's going to be tough, man. Really tough for Bayplay. Bayplay is competing with so many projects right now. Um,
Yeah,
same
shit.
day,
Mm.
same day as some of these other ones. So that's a
Yeah,
point zero 0.06 mint for a 4,000 supply. I mean, I think I have whitelist for this one. I don't
yeah.
know. Well, I don't
Me
know, but
too. I really
yeah,
love the project. I love the project. I love the founder. I love the idea, but
yeah,
they might have been like a little too early.
yeah,
Like Japan is not ready for like bridging the Web 2 and Web 3 experience and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Like if you
So
hold it, like you get the discounts at this gym membership, and you get discounts at this physical stores and stuff. Like, I don't think Japan's ready for that yet.
yeah, it's really tough, and I think they haven't had the visibility. They've been trying with the marketing, but the market is more interested in other projects right now. So that's the really tough uphill battle that they're facing. I mean, I definitely think they could mint out, and hopefully the holders will enjoy the utility. But it's going
Hmm.
to be, yeah, it's not looking that great for a flip.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
yeah,
look at the Twitters and how everybody react and engagement and everything. It's just low. Like,
yeah,
it's not getting enough attention. That the project itself is great, but it's not getting enough attention.
yeah. Like the vibe that I get is, the founder, like he's actually really serious about this. He's trying really hard. He's got a good idea.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I like the artist, even though I'm not that
mm-hmm,
crazy about the art for this specific project, but I like what he's done in his original stuff.
mm-hmm,
I like him as a person and stuff, but
mm-hmm.
again, it's really difficult. You're choosing to launch at one of the worst times, like on one of the worst days to compete with some of these other bigger projects.
It's
So
just like a people at the Walmart on the Black Friday.
yeah, 1217 is yeah. Everybody's just, oh my god, we got to get our NFTs out. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Um, and then here's another big one that people have been really. This one's getting the hype, but we'll see what happens. But it's Kurenai. Uh, Kurenai is coming out on 12/17, I think, according to the calendar that I saw. So same day. Um,
Shit.
yeah, and this one is getting way more attention than any of the other ones we talked about, aside from
Yeah.
LLAC.
Yeah, I mean, like, shit. I have two whitelists for this project, but
Okay.
then if you hold Big Hat Monkey's past project, you get the automatic whitelist. So
Yeah,
the previous project pumped a little bit, like it doubled the price, but now it's back to where it was.
yeah, because there's no reason in holding anymore.
Yeah, like honestly, it's oversupplied. They're
Yeah,
launching 10,000K, and they're gonna launch another 10,000K like eventually. What I don't know when, but that's way oversupplied, and the price point is a little bit too high for a Japanese project.
yeah. According to what I saw, it was 0.046.
Hmm?
According
The
to
point,
what I saw, it was 0.046 was the minimum.
yeah, and time it by 10,000.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of money, and especially given that he's already raised, you would think, quite a bit of money from the like three other generative projects that he's launched. I think there were three.
Yeah,
Um, I yeah, I mean the artist is very popular, and the artist
yeah.
auctions on Foundation have been selling for like I don't know 3, 4, 5, 6 ETH or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not, maybe I'm getting that confused, but they're very popular. They're very liked, and the art is cool and all, but it's another 10K project for 0.046. That's a lot of money. Like, what are they going to do with this? No clue. No clue.
Yeah, like we don't have the clear picture of where the project's going. Are you
Yeah,
gonna make animation? Are you gonna make manga? What are you guys doing? Like, I like the PFP. It's really updated from the last past project.
yeah,
And but the Big Hot Monkey, he's another influencer, but he has to compete with Ikehaya.
yeah, yeah,
Like he has to have a convincing, reason or idea to like persuade people to get into it. But ten
yeah.
thousand
And
K, we don't have enough people like that in Japan.
well, yeah, well, that's why in Japan it's like you look at every project and it's like sometimes under 20% unique owners because it's like the same 2,000 people or whatever buying.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I hope it'll do well.
I hope so. But that's the thing though. Like, it's easy to sell out a 10K project even with like 20% unique ownership if you're charging 0.001. If you're
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
charging 0.04, 0.05, and you're really only marketing to Japan, that gets a
mm-hmm,
lot more challenging.
mm-hmm. Like he only distributed whitelist to like only a few or couple project in the US basically. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know he's mainly targeting Japanese market,
Yeah,
but who the Ikehaya reigns,
yeah,
you know, Japan, he's a king. He's
yeah,
a
yeah,
legend.
yeah. He is, and he's good at what he does, and so like respect. But it's just really tough to compete with that. Um, he's got a strong hold on the market, and again, 10K supply at 0.046. Yeah, and then they intend to release 10K more. Like why
Yeah.
why so many? Why so many? Right? Like I don't like I can understand the reasoning for a 20K at 0.001. Okay, they need the
Mm-hmm,
money. I
mm-hmm,
get it. All right,
mm-hmm,
fine.
mm-hmm.
But for a 0.046, I mean that's you were seeing bull market like releases in the global market selling at that price. Um, that's that's pretty gutsy. I mean, good luck, but yeah, I don't have whitelist, so I'm not even going to think about it. Uh,
He, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I really, even if the floor doesn't pump, I think it's probably still probably profitable because Japan doesn't panic sell usually. People don't tend usually they don't just like undercut each other like crazy like we see in the global market. So
Yeah.
probably the floor will hold, but my real question is how many people are actually going to buy? Like, is this going to be like a 10% unique ownership? It's just like a bunch of whales. Like, I don't.
Yeah, like I haven't really checked their community and see how many people are supporting the project.
Yeah, But
Yeah, but
it,
it's
it's
just
getting attention.
oversupplied.
Definitely getting
It's
attention.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I mean, yeah, I know it's not like LLAC or whatever, but
yeah,
it's doing better than most other projects.
yeah. That I agree.
Yeah. Um, then we have also on 1217 Super Sapiens. Um, so this one is a 7K project launching at 0.08. That's pricey for Japan. Um, and that is not a 3D project; it's a 2D project. So like a lot of times the 3D projects are a little bit more expensive, and you understand why. Anyway, this is 0.08. So this one caught my attention. It was getting, some good attention on Twitter and all that. The community seemed to be pretty active. The team is very interesting in that the team is totally new, it seems, to the Web3 space, but they're deeply connected to the Japanese entertainment industry. We've got like directors that have worked in like mainstream Japanese media. Like I think a manga writer or something like that. It's a team of like 4 or 5 people. They're all like professionals in the Japanese entertainment industry. The advisor is Kamogashida-san, who is also like a kind of influencer, I guess, in the space. Um, and Yeah, it seems like it was getting good attention. I didn't know about the mint price until I looked it up, so that is kind of pricey, and 7,000 is kind of a big one. But their their goal is to, I think they start with a webtoon, go into and eventually lead into a live action like series or whatever. That the team, they would create, write it, film it. So it's cool, and they're going to get a lot of money from this if it sells out. So it's not that unrealistic, given their connection. So like I'm interested, and I was trying to get an interview, and I was told that I could get an interview, but then they never got back to me after that. And now I think it's too close to mint. I'm probably not going to get it. So I don't know. The thing that just concerns me is like on the same day we have Kurenai 10,000 at 0.046, and then we have 7,000 selling at 0.08 for Super Sapiens. So even if all of these sell out, people are how high can these floors go, right?
Yeah, and people are saving money for LLAC.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people are not gonna like recklessly just, well, I don't know, some people might, but they're not just gonna spend like 0.5 ETH because they'd rather save that for LLAC. That's just the thing, right? Like we've got this big project that everybody's waiting for, and so people are, I don't know, like again, I don't, maybe these projects don't pump, but they still do well,
Well,
because they could get all that money and actually do something incredible, and maybe 1 year from now the floor goes crazy. I don't know,
like
but
yeah,
I'm
like
just saying short term, like it's a very confusing time in the market.
yeah, like last time at the who's this influencer? Kamogashira, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He was involved with another project, and they released the membership pass,
Yeah.
and it did really well, honestly, for what they offer, because the
Uh-huh.
Kamogashira himself was sweeping the floor.
Oh, okay. Is that the education path?
Yeah,
Okay, which is a horrible name.
yeah,
So boring. Come on, education
yeah.
path. Like what? Am I going to learn math or something? Like what?
Well, well, they call it like salon for the adults and stuff, like whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I get it. And these influencers from Japan, like King Kong Nishino and Kamogashira, like they've made so much money from non Web3, like Web2, Saron, like these online groups, right? They like
yeah,
monthly subscriptions. They make probably like tens of thousands of dollars a month or something, like $100,000 or something. Like they've got huge numbers.
yeah,
Um,
and his reputation is on the line.
yeah, but I heard that Education Pass is going to be a mint pass for Kamogashira-san um, generative project coming soon. I think in like February or
Jeez,
January.
what? He's oh my god.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like, see, the thing about these non Web3 people coming in is they bring in their non Web3 people, which is kind of good. But I am yet to be that impressed by King Kong Nishino or Kamogashira-san compared to Ikehaya. Ikehaya
Yeah,
knows crypto. Ikehaya knows Web3. Ikehaya knows NFTs. Ikehaya knows what is going on in the global market. He was early. He knew what to do, and he's been an amazing marketer. He's really really good. Um,
mm.
But these guys are coming in without that knowledge, and they're only coming in with their reputation from Web 2. Is that enough? I don't know, but what we see is that Ikehaya probably has the majority of the Japanese NFT market share. Like if you count all the CMP projects in a way. If not, he's coming close to like 50% or something. Like it's a huge share of the market. Because he knows what to do. He knows how to market. He knows what gets people excited, and he knows how to keep it going. But these other influencers that have come into the space, they don't do the same kind of marketing. They don't get people excited. They're not pumping it up in the same way. They've just got their core community.
Yeah, they are really active like in the real life, and they attend all the events, and they're everywhere. They're on the Twitters and everything, but they lose the spotlight after the launch day. People just watch the floor for a day, and on the second day, people just forget about them. I just hope they will bring in more new people into the space.
Hopefully,
and I feel like that's their role. I feel like that's their role. Like,
it absolutely is, and they did bring in a bunch of people, I think, in October, but I don't know how many of those people last, because I mean, honestly, like, you got to be a special kind of person to be like trading NFTs. Like, it's a really like stressful thing, and you lose money really easily. Like, this is not for everyone. This is for like weirdo DJs. Like, this is not like, this is a stressful thing. And most people that are following like Kamogashira-san and Kinko Nishino, they're not that kind of person. I think. I don't know. I'm not in their communities, but probably they're not. So, maybe some of those people will go on to build their own projects, and they go on to success. That would be awesome. That's great. But yeah, it's just a really tough market to be a part of, and so it can be really scary. Like buying a Valhalla at 0.5. Most people are too scared to do that. And honestly, most times I would not have done that, but I did it and it worked out. But it's not for everyone. Definitely not for everyone. And then last one. That's LLAC. Yeah, that last one, like I said. So basically, that the end of December has a few more projects, but these are kind of the big ones that are coming up in the next week or so. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. 12/17 is going to be crazy as hell. We'll see what the hell happens. Yeah. So that's basically it. 12/17 Japan time. I'm also going to be doing a little like talk with this guy named Kochi. He's like an influencer and stuff. Like he's got his own voice program. Metaba Museum, so that's like a metaverse event, and I'm going to be doing a little talk about the foreign NFT like market versus the Japanese NFT market. So I was invited to do that, so I'm going to be busy with that. But I'll be watching the market. I'll see what happens. I probably won't be buying anything on secondary because honestly, I just don't think any of those pumps are going to last very long because people are just holding their money for LLAC. So that's my opinion. I don't know if I'm right, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, if you see enough volume and founders sweeping the floor, that's a bullish sign in the short term. Like like you can just do what you do.
Yeah. Like for example, like Neo Stacky has gone up. It's at like 0.25 ish. So it bounced. It bounced pretty good because it went down to like 0.19 or something. I sold it like 0.2, 0.21. And now it's back at 0.25. So if I had held, I wouldn't have. I'd be making like an extra 0.1 or so. So, you know what? Like things can bounce, and we'll see what happens when Neostaki like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months from now. But that's great for them. I hope it does well. Neo Tokyo Punks has been going up steadily. It's at 0.8. Meta Samurai is over 0.4. So some
impressive.
of these, very impressive. Like some of these older projects are really holding strong. Meta Samurai NTP, like they've been very, very impressive. Like, for me, like, a flip is nice, but you know what the best thing is? A floor that holds and grows up little by little. That's like really the ideal situation. Because if a floor goes up too fast, now you start getting the flippers in and it starts to get all crazy. But NTP is very good because in keeping out the flippers because it's so low liquidity. Every single day, only 1 or 2 sell. So most people don't want to get in on that. So you get a lot of the people that are going to like hold for a longer time. And it's been very, very impressive. They've been out for like 7, 8 months and they've managed to hold that. And I'm genuinely impressed. Yes, I hold whatever. Yeah. But objectively speaking, if you look at the floor, it's been very impressive. And I'm impressed. Hopefully it keeps doing well. So.
Or what do you feel about the incoming second collection?
So this was something that Ike Hayasan brought up. He didn't talk about NTP, but he was criticizing, releasing a second collection at this point in time, and
Hmm.
NTP is releasing a second collection. The Wolves, it's called Roars, uh, and it's cute. Look. So I like NTP, but I'm kind of concerned because they're basically going the Azuki route. It's like release the cool anime PFP and then release the cute secondary collection. And it seemed a little too Azuki to me with like the whole beam thing. But whatever. I like Nico-san. I like the art. Whatever. I don't know what the
Yeah,
supply is, so I don't know. I don't know what the supply is. So
they are releasing the second collection to bring in more people, or
yeah,
like
probably,
they're releasing it to raise more funds. Like I feel
probably
like
both.
expanding the community at this point would be a little bit scary
It
because
is. It is.
all the liquidity will be thinned out and all the flippers jump in, and I feel like the NTP community is right size at the moment. That's why
Yeah,
the floor is holding up. But if the community itself expand, it it
it's concerning.
attracts more flippers and new people don't want to stay in the community. Sometimes and they
Yeah, I
just jump
agree.
the floor.
It's concerning, and I, like honestly, I think that. So I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it does well. Maybe the NTP people rally and they pick up a bunch of these roars, and the floor holds. Whatever, it's possible. I don't plan on selling anytime soon.
Hmm.
Whatever. I got in pretty low, so I'm not going to lose a ton of money either way. But the thing is that, like, I think that NTP has so much potential. They could like Nico-san, like the clothes that he draws, like I love that stuff. Like I would, maybe I would consider buying a jacket or something. Like NTP has so much potential to spin out into other things.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
like he could do fashion, and that stuff would sell even in the non Web3 like market. I think he could do, he could leverage his connections at this point.
Mm.
He's one of Japan's most successful NFT projects, and I think he could grow it in an like outside of Web3, instead of launching more NFTs at this point. But I don't know. I mean, right now that's the judgment that was made, and like maybe that's not the judgment that I would have made, but it is what it is, and we'll see. Like I'm gonna pick up whatever I'm entitled to. My three roars or whatever, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
it just not clear direction, and like if the
Yeah,
project itself announced like, oh, we're gonna use the fund from the second collection to make cool jacket or cool t-shirt, we're
yeah,
gonna create our own brand and build IP like that,
yeah,
it makes sense. I'll support that. Like
yeah.
I like all the art, but if they just do like everything without announcing the whole purpose of releasing the second collection, and all that, that's really questionable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they haven't released a supply or a price or anything, so we don't know. They've also teased a roadmap 2.0, so maybe they might say something more there. It's just we all we know is that it's coming and the art is there, and Nico-san is working on it, and they've started kind of pushing up the marketing a little bit. They're doing regular spaces, and they're a little bit more visible. But I agree. I like what we were saying with Valhalla. It's like it's easy to say what they're doing, and that's really good. But with NTP right now, I think the big problem is we don't know what the direction is aside from a new collection coming.
Hmm.
So hopefully they say more in the near future because again, we said it multiple times. I think NTP has so much potential, and
Hmm.
Nico-san is a great artist, and I think that there's
Hmm.
potential to expand outside of Web3, but we just don't know. We don't know what's coming. Um, so I don't know. I want them to do well. I'm biased. I like him, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Mm. All
So yeah, it's time. Basically, we're at an hour, so
right.
we're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, your clock is going.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything you wanted to say to close out?
Like, well, thank you for coming, and I am
Yeah,
really excited about what happens, like in December.
yeah. I mean, whatever happens, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully, just be careful out there, guys. Like everybody, of course, we want you to have fun and all that, but just be careful because
Yeah, it's not an
it's kind
investment.
of yeah. This is gambling. Remember, this is gambling. We're all going to lose money sometimes, but uh, if you find something you actually like, maybe you can hold it, and it doesn't matter if it goes up or down. And if it's a pure investment, you gotta take profits sometimes.
Yeah,
So
unless you tap into the art market.
yeah, unless you tap into the art market, like we've been doing sometimes, and like once you buy, the money's gone, and now you just gotta wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
sometimes that stuff turns out to be really profitable, and sometimes it doesn't. But you know what? Fine, it's fine because you go into it with a different mentality. You're not thinking about a flip.
Mm.
That's that. But anyway, wow, we got a nice showing. Thank you guys. Hopefully next week we'll be back on the normal time. I don't know. We'll see. Crypto's always got a crazy schedule, so it just depends on him.
No, yeah, maybe I'll
Uh,
I'll just do it in Thailand.
okay, cool. So
I
maybe
hope.
next week it'll be Hawaii and Thailand. What a show! Yeah, what a show. Tokyo
Yeah,
Alpha from Hawaii and Thailand. Um, neither in Japan. So anyway, yeah, that's that. So we'll probably be back next week. I also do another space, which is more of a bilingual space, English and Japanese, on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Japan time. That one
yeah,
is
that's the
much more
fun.
free form. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's whatever people want to talk about. People just come up and talk, and that's that. Uh, so yeah, if you're interested in that. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Oh, and we do have a total archive of all the episodes on the podcast, Apple Podcast, and some other podcast platforms. So if you want to listen afterwards, go there. But anyway, thanks so much, guys. We'll be back next week. Be careful out there. Hope you make some money.
all right.
All right, thanks,
Thank you,
yourself.
Tony.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you,
bye.
everybody. Bye.
Yeah.